Ever scrolled through social media and stumbled upon them? Those perfectly lit photos, beaming smiles, captions overflowing with hashtags about being your own boss and achieving financial freedom. They're selling everything from essential oils to leggings to weight loss shakes, all with the promise of a life-changing opportunity. This, my friends, is the world of multi-level marketing, or MLMs for short. A world where seemingly anyone can become an entrepreneur, selling products to friends and family, all while building a downline of eager recruits. It sounds tempting, right? Who wouldn't want to be their own boss, set their own hours, and rake in the big bucks? But behind the glossy facade and carefully curated Instagram feeds lies a more complicated truth. A truth that raises the question, are MLMs a legitimate path to financial freedom or just legal pyramid schemes in disguise? Buckle up, because tonight, we're diving deep into the world of MLMs. We'll separate the hype from reality, the legal from the downright shady, and leave you with the information you need to decide if this is a business opportunity worth considering. So, what exactly is an MLM? Imagine a pyramid. No, not kind of pyramid, at least not officially. In an MLM, you're not just selling products, you're encouraged, nay, to recruit others to sell those products too. Your recruits become your downline, and you earn a commission on their sales as well as the sales of any one recruit. Think essential oils, cosmetics, nutritional supplements, cleaning products, basically anything you can find at a Tupperware party, but with more hashtags and motivational quotes. The pitch is always the same: work from anywhere, be your own boss, and achieve financial freedom. It's the American dream, repackaged and sold in a starter kit with a monthly auto ship. But here's the catch. The real money in MLMs often doesn't come from selling products, it comes from recruiting. The more people you recruit, the higher you climb the pyramid. And the more money you potentially make. See the problem here? Now, let's address the elephant in the room, or rather, the pyramid in the boardroom. Pyramid schemes are illegal, and for a good reason. They're designed to benefit those at the top, who make money by recruiting new members, rather than selling actual products. As more people join at the bottom, the pyramid inevitably collapses, leaving the majority of participants with empty wallets and garages full of unsold merchandise. So, how do MLMs differ? That's where things get murky. MLMs claim to be legitimate businesses because they offer products. But the emphasis on recruitment, coupled with the often exaggerated income claims, raises serious red flags. It's a fine line, and one that many MLMs seem to tiptoe across with the grace of a drunken flamingo. The Federal Trade Commission, FTC, has its eye on this industry, and they're not afraid to crack down on MLMs that blur the lines too much. But as with most things in life, it's complicated. Let's talk numbers, shall we? Because those glamorous Instagram feeds rarely show the financial reality for most MLM participants. According to a recent FTC report, the vast majority of people involved in MLMs make little to no money. In fact, many actually money, spending more on starter kits, website fees, and those all-important business-building events than they ever earn in sales. Think about it. Your social media feed can only handle so many posts about essential oils or weight loss shakes before your friends start hitting the unfollow button faster than you can say financial freedom. The market for these products, even within your own network, is finite. The truth is, the MLM business model is designed to benefit a select few at the top of the pyramid. Those early adopters, the ones who got in before everyone else, they might be swimming in cash. But for the vast majority of people who join later, the dream of financial freedom often turns into a nightmare of debt and disappointment. Section 5. When MLMs go wrong, lawsuits and scandals. Remember that fine line MLMs walk between legitimate business and pyramid scheme? Well, sometimes they trip, fall, and land themselves in a whole heap of legal trouble. Over the years, several high-profile MLMs have faced lawsuits and regulatory action for deceptive marketing practices, false income claims, and yes, operating as illegal pyramid schemes. We're talking about multi-million-dollar settlements, folks. Companies forced to change their business practices, issue refunds to distributors, and even shut down entirely. These cases highlight the importance of consumer protection and the need for greater transparency within the MLM industry. But it's not just the companies themselves that can get into hot water. Individual distributors who make exaggerated income claims or engage in misleading marketing tactics can also face legal consequences. Remember, just because your upline tells you it's okay to make outrageous claims about a product's ability to cure everything from a headache to the common cold doesn't make it legal. Now the FTC, bless their hearts, they're trying to bring some order to this chaotic landscape. In 2025, they proposed a whole slew of new rules aimed at cracking down on deceptive earnings claims within MLMs. We're talking requiring companies to provide actual proof of those sky-high income claims, not just anecdotal stories from their top earners. They even talked about mandatory waiting periods before people could join an MLM, to give them a chance to sober up from the intoxicating aroma of essential oils and actually think about what they're getting themselves into. But wait, there's a plot twist. Remember that time a certain someone decided to issue an executive order freezing all new regulations? Yeah, that threw a bit of a wrench in the FTC's plans. So, as of right now, those proposed rules are in a holding pattern, stuck in bureaucratic limbo. Whether these rules eventually see the light of day remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure, the FTC is watching, and they're not afraid to use their regulatory muscle to protect consumers from shady business practices. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? Well, if you're thinking about joining an MLM, here's a word of advice. Proceed with caution. Do your research. And by research, we don't mean scrolling through your friend's perfectly curated Instagram feed. We're talking about digging deep, reading independent reviews, checking out the company's track record with the Better Business Bureau, and maybe even consulting with a financial advisor or two. Remember, those promises of financial freedom and flexible work-life balance, they're often more fiction than fact. For every MLM success story, there are countless others who have lost money, strained relationships, and ended up with a garage full of products they couldn't sell to their worst enemy. The MLM business model is built on recruitment, and recruitment relies on a steady stream of new people willing to buy into the dream. But as with any pyramid, eventually you run out of people at the bottom to prop up those at the top. Even if an MLM operates within the bounds of the law, there's still the ethical question mark hanging over the whole industry. Is it right to profit from recruiting friends and family into a business where the odds of success are stacked against them? Is it ethical to perpetuate a system that relies on relentless recruitment and often preys on people's desire for financial freedom, particularly those who are struggling financially or facing limited employment options? These are questions each individual considering an MLM opportunity needs to grapple with. Because beyond the legal definitions and financial realities, there's a moral dimension to this industry that can't be ignored. So, are MLMs legal businesses or pyramid schemes in disguise? The answer, as with most things in life, is complicated. There are legitimate MLMs out there, companies that prioritize product sales and offer genuine business opportunities. But there are also those that operate in a legal gray area, blurring the lines between legitimate business and exploitative schemes. The MLM industry is built on dreams. Dreams of financial freedom, flexible work, and being your own boss. But for many, those dreams turn into a harsh reality of debt, disappointment, and strained relationships. As consumers, it's our responsibility to be informed, to ask tough questions, and to approach any business opportunity, especially one that relies on recruitment, with a healthy dose of skepticism. Because when it comes to MLMs, the real product being sold might just be a carefully crafted illusion. And on that cheery note, we'll leave you with this question. In an era of increasing economic inequality and shrinking middle class, can a business model that relies on relentless recruitment and often benefits a select few at the top ever truly be considered sustainable, let alone ethical?